Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest bird in the land. Welcome back to Ill Blur Matic. What is going on? Let's thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing. Let's get into today's new video. Today's new video is something I'm kind of surprised about this, but then I'm not like completely surprised. But let's talk about it. So, PIxar Studios has confirmed that Toy Story 5 and more sequels are on the way, meaning more PIxar movies, just to let you guys know. Also, my issue with PIxar. So, Pete Docter, the chief executive officer at PIxar, one of my favorite Disney studios. Disney wasn't my favorite studio. I own a lot more PIxar movies. It's a bit of a bias, but I like PIxar movies a little bit more than Disney movies. Okay, so apparently Toy Story 5 is in development at PIxar Studios. Now, the crazy thing about this is PIxar is a little bit better when it comes to sequels. I do know that's their strong point compared to Disney. I am worried about Toy Story 5. Let's be honest. The previous Toy Story movies, 3 and 4, were really good movies. Different themes, different messaging in the movies. I felt like Toy Story 4 was the end of everything. And then y'all had the nerve to come out with talking about, oh, we doing a 5th movie. Now, here's my thing. I understand why they're doing a 5th movie. At first, I was like, nah, no way. I don't want to see a 5th Toy Story movie. The reason why they're doing a Toy Story 5 is because Toy Story 3 and 4 did $1 billion in the box office. Come on, that's their biggest movies. Toy Story 1 and 2 was not touching $1 billion, all right? So the thing is, they see like, hey, our sequels is doing really well. Like, all right, we did the first couple 3 movies. Now we're like, yo, well, not couple 3 movies. The first 2 movies that only probably did a decent amount of money. But this 3 and 4, oh, this is our bread and butter. This is our bread and butter. And now we're convinced on doing a 5th movie. I really hope that PIxar is not trying to do this because, oh, it's a money grab. Oh, we know adults, we know kids are going to want to go see this. Because I know PIxar has not been doing extremely well in recent years. I mean, their biggest letdown was Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear was the film that I thought was really good. They just didn't promo it enough. That's just my honest opinion. But I'm like, look, good movie. Okay, there was something they could have took out of it. But other than that, it was a solid movie. I mean, I get it wasn't Tim Allen voicing Buzz Lightyear. But I felt like they didn't market it enough, and I was like, eh. And also, the other thing I would like to share with you guys is PIxar had a layoff. They have lost a lot of employees, just like Disney has, and Marvel, they have had a huge layoff. So the thing is, you may not even have the original team for y'all to want to do the sequels. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see an Incredibles 3. I mean, I hope I don't be a senior citizen by the time it comes out. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm like, PIxar, like, the first 2 movies were solid movies. And I'm like, is it going to take forever for us to get a freaking Incredibles 3? The other movie that they talked about doing a sequel for is Zootopia. I would love to see a sequel to Zootopia. Not to mention Jamie Foxx's debut in Soul 2. I would love to see sequels for some of these movies. The problem with PIxar is they're like, oh, we're going to work on the next project. We're not going to continue forward. If it's not Toy Story, they're like, no, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to continue forward making movies for it. And it's disappointing. It's very disappointing where I see this studio having high value. You know what I'm saying? They're giving us solid PIxar sequels. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there are some movies I don't like that have sequels, of course. Finding Nemo. I didn't like the sequel to Finding Nemo. I thought it was absolute trash. Okay, I was like, okay, this is extra. They doing a bit too much with this movie. But I definitely hope Toy Story 5 it's successful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with not the original team not being there for some of these films, this is gonna either work in their favor or this is not going to work in their favor. Because the thing is, when you have the original team there, it gives it the essence of what you look for in that franchise. So, um, I really don't know, man. Pixar has not really been delivering with some of these films. I mean, I seen Red. I just felt like that was annoying. That was probably the most annoying movie I ever saw. I guess it was geared more towards teenagers and not adults. That's my real angle on that one. Then they came out with another movie that I was just like, yeah, this is boring. It didn't draw my interest. But I would love to see some sequels for some of the movies, even Up. I would like to see a sequel for the Up movie. But I really hope Pixar realizes, like, you guys make better sequels than the bigger studio. But the thing is, y'all got to keep the momentum going. Like, y'all have not even given us an Incredible 3 yet. Like, where is it? Pixar, we waiting. The fans are waiting. And it's sad, man, because I know for a fact a lot of us are waiting for Incredibles 3. A lot of us are waiting for some of these other sequels to come out. And now that the studio has lost some of the workforce that was originally a part of these teams, I don't know if it's still going to win or is it going to sink. Because like I said before, Pixar is definitely my favorite studio. Like I said, this is kind of a little bit of a bias. But the thing is, I know Pixar can give us some quality films. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I enjoy Pixar films. I go back to them. I can go watch A Buzz Life. I can go back watch Monsters Inc., even the sequel, because these films lasted more than the Disney films. I hope that Pixar realizes that if you're gonna do a movie, don't wait forever to give us a sequel. I get animation takes a while to be made. It's very costly. I do know that for a fact too. But I don't want y'all like holding on forever to where we have to wait years down the line for another sequel for some of y'all top selling movies. I mean, I get it. Toy Story is probably y'all, you know what I'm saying, the first one to literally make $1 billion in the box office. So y'all looked at it and said, oh, we can do a fifth movie because 3 and 4 made $1 billion in the box office. Okay, I get that. But let's keep in mind, Pixar, y'all have not done sequels for Zootopia. You have not done a sequel for The Incredibles. You have not done a sequel for Up. You know what I'm saying? And I think those movies, even so, should be the focus for the next couple years. Don't just be like, yo, we're going to give y'all some other new projects. Great if y'all do, but let's keep in mind, don't forget about the sequels. Don't forget about the sequels. Because, I mean, I get Elementals is coming. Elementals is out right now. But I hope this works out for Pixar. I mean, change sometimes is a bad thing. Sometimes change is a good thing. But the problem is, if you're going to do a Toy Story 5, is the original team, is some of them still there? I like that the chief executive officer, Pete Docter, mentioned that they're going to do sequels because I've been waiting. I've been patiently waiting. Birdman Hair Run, for real, to see sequels for some of these movies. It don't make no sense that it takes forever for a sequel. Even Inside Out, excuse me. I was like, where's my sequel? I seen the first movie. I love it. I'm like, where's the sequel? That's the problem with Pixar. Pixar don't give sequels enough. And Disney knows how to give a sequel and doesn't take forever for it to come out. But this your boy Ill Blurred Matic, guys. You tell me in the comments, are you happy to hear about the news that we're getting a Toy Story 5 and more Pixar sequels, and not including Toy Story 5, but other movies as well? My next question is for this: how do you feel about Pixar not being the top studio as it once was? Because the thing was, this studio definitely by far is better than Disney. Okay, no bias here, but it's the truth. And my last question, I got one more. Do you think that these sequels is like they don't want to do a sequel for these movies because they know that people are going to gravitate towards it versus some of their newer stuff that may not have sequels? You tell me in the comments, guys. It's a blur. Living in the world, guys. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, and I'm out.